ripped off the front of the truck.
Full patrol, he was a sniper.
Going into Karma.
Got hit by a grenade.
Threw me from the turret. I blacked out again.
I still hear him screaming at night sometimes. It's when I realized that we weren't invincible. We could really be hurt. Tell him what happened to me.
So what happened, man? How did it all go down?
Joined the Marine Corps on August 1st, 2005. Deployed January of 2007. I did log trains, which basically my job was going to be drive supplies to the line grunts that are actually out doing the fighting, take them resupplies, chow, ammo, whatever they basically needed. And at that time, I was actually driving a Humvee. I'd only been driving for about 5 days, and I remember going across this bridge that we had crossed. They were telling me that this bridge is probably the most dangerous bridge to drive across. All of a sudden, I remember my gunner yelling at me, telling me to stop, and I slammed on my brakes, but I was going so fast I wasn't able to stop where I was, and I hit a triple stack of 155 rounds in a Humvee. Triple stack of 155 rounds is a pretty big IED. I got pretty lucky though. It just put a little piece of shrapnel in my windshield. Hole about softball size on the outside. On the inside, it's bubbled up to about a basketball size. That was when I first realized that I really was in a war zone, and people really did want to kill me where I was.
My name is Curtis Foster. I was an infantry machine gunner with 3rd Battalion, 1st Marines. I did 3 tours over in Iraq from June of 2004 to January of 2005. Did my 2nd tour September of 2005 to April of 2006, and did my 3rd tour April 2007 to November 2007. During the 1st deployment, we were on the outskirts of, we were pretty much right in between the Baghdad and Fallujah. Did operations going from Baghdad International Airport all the way to right outside the outskirts of Fallujah. Then in November of 2004, we invaded the city. And then we ended up, on that deployment, we lost 33 Marines killed in action with about 400 wounded. On the 12th of November, I received my first Purple Heart. We were clearing down a street. We had been engaged from pretty much all sides, mainly from the front and the right flank. And some Amtraks rolled up with their 50 calibers and their Mark 19 grenade launchers, and they took over the frontal security. And I went to the right flank and started doing some engaging there and providing security and everything to the front and to the right flank. When some Marines were going through clearing some houses, and I was looking over at the wall, and a grenade came up over the wall. The blast went off, and I felt something like a rock hit me in the throat, and then it started to burn. And went up, touched it, and took my hand away, and it was bleeding. And one of my buddies, who was the driver, came back with his Leatherman tool to where we were sitting, pulled the shrapnel out. I was a little upset because he threw the piece of shrapnel away. I wanted to keep it.
I guess I'll start at the beginning, you know. We left for Iraq on September 19th of 2005. This is my 2nd combat deployment, so I kind of thought I knew what I was doing, you know, maybe not. Haditha, which is in Al Anbar province, which is it's a hydroelectric dam that provides like I don't know, somewhere around 75%, or if not more, of the electrical power for the country of Iraq, to include all the way down to Baghdad. So This was our base of operations for the majority of the time we were there. We were in Amtrak first, which is what I do. Is Amtrak is like amphibious assault vehicles. They come from like a mile offshore out of a naval vessel, and they hit the beach with infantry in the back, and we provide mobility plus armor support as well as fire support to the infantry as they complete their mission. We kept the Amtrak mostly out of the cities because it had a big mechanized vehicle driving around in the tight confines of an Iraqi city, basically asking for trouble. So the Amtrak stayed outside the city majority of the time. I was wounded on February 27, 2006. My platoon was out for about 3 days working with sniper teams in the area. And we were crossing a bridge, and my vehicle was hit by a command IED. I don't remember anything. I just remember what my guys have told me after that. They said within 12 minutes of my vehicle being hit, the medevac bird, which is a Black Hawk helicopter the Army uses, was at the LG, and they had me loaded up into the bird, and they flew me to a field hospital where I actually woke up in Germany like about a day later. I had a nurse stand over me, and I was restrained, and I had all kinds of tubes and wires like that coming out of me, and they didn't want me to wake up and start pulling stuff out. So I woke up, but I couldn't talk, and that's because my jaw's been wired shut. And so my nurse asked me if I knew what happened, and I shook my head no, and she said, "You were hit by an IED," and you don't think you think it's like a dream, like, yeah, maybe it's a joke, you know. But pretend that wasn't a joke. But so I asked for something to write with, a piece of paper. They gave me a piece of paper and a pen. I just signed writing, and I wrote down "How are my Marines," and then I passed back out.
2 days later, we ran into a complex attack. We got ambushed, and at the time I didn't really understand what was going on. I was so dazed and confused because I just got blown up again, tired of getting blown up. There was a group of insurgents standing in the reed line shooting at us. And I remember raising my weapon up, I remember shooting 3 rounds. The guy that was laying on the ground was the guy that I was sighting in on. That was pretty hard. A couple months went by pretty quiet. About 6 months into the deployment, it started picking up again. Firefights every day. We moved to this town called Karma, which has been known for having sniper schools. And we moved there. We were supposed to find this sniper school. We were supposed to shut it down. We were supposed to shut down the IED factories that were also there. And we found a lot of things that didn't really want to see, torture houses and stuff like that. July 16th, 2007 is when it got real for me. About 6:30, 7 o'clock at night, we had been in this house for about 4 days. Dump truck came rolling around trees, cut across this field, and 240 gunner on top of the roof started shooting them. And I remember standing up from where I was sitting. I was sitting in a kitchen next to the stove by the sink. I remember watching music videos, and I remember standing up and looking and seeing this dump truck coming at us. And there were 2 other guys in the room with me, and all of us, we grabbed our rifles, and we started shooting the truck also. And I go to turn around, and as soon as I turned around, the truck blew up.
We were there for a little while. Probably about the 2nd day was when we really started having problems. We had seemed like every single person that was on the 3rd deployment started getting hit. It was just nonstop. We had one landmine hit 4 guys that were on the 3rd deployment. The sniper shot a guy that was on the 3rd deployment. And it was just, we kind of started getting like the bad juju thing going on, like the whole, it was a thing with our battalion. If you were on your 3rd deployment, you were pretty much getting hit. It was the guys who were on the 3rd deployment in 2004 were the majority of the guys that were wounded and killed. The guys that were on the 3rd deployment in 2005 and 2006 in Haditha were, all the guys that were wounded and killed there were pretty much on their 3rd deployment. And then on this one, it was the same trend. We were all getting hit. I had hit 6 IEDs on that one deployment. On January 1st, we hit one. It was a motorcycle that blew up on us as we were going through, or we were driving by it, it blew up on us. Only a few minor injuries on that one. And then January 2nd, we hit another one. We started going and we rolled maybe 2 feet. Maybe 2 feet. We didn't even get a chance to make a turn onto the intersection. We ended up hitting a pressure plate with about 300 pounds of explosives. Pretty much tore off the front end of this 7-ton. Just blew it to pieces.
Sometime later, and this came and woke me up again, said my mother was on the phone asking me if I wanted to talk to her. Obviously I couldn't talk, I would have to listen. So I shook my head, nodded my head yes, and then she, after I found listening to my mom, the nurse came in and said, "Oh, your means are all right." As the extent of my injuries, at that time I had a shattered jaw, I had lost 60% of my tongue, I had collapsed lung, and obviously I had a traumatic brain injury or a grade 3 concussion with loss of consciousness for how long I don't really know. And then from there, it was like a battery of doctors coming in every, I don't know, so often with nurses and so on and so forth. While I was in the hospital, because I couldn't eat, they had been sort of feeding tube in my stomach, and then they put an external fixator on my jaw, which was meant to keep the bones in place, so it was like kind of like walking around with a bird cage on your face.
I don't really remember much after the truck blew up. It blew me into a brick wall through a doorway. Knocked me out pretty good. I remember little bits and pieces. I remember Doc Montano coming in, sticking a needle in my chest. And then about the same time, I remember another explosion, an RPG came coming into the house. Peppered my left arm with shrapnel. I was knocked out again. The hardest thing for me was the phone call to my mom. I made a promise to my mom before I left that I was going to come home in one piece. I had to call my mom and tell my mom that I was injured and I was doped up. That's the only way I would have been able to call my mom. I didn't want to tell her, but they were making me tell her. So I called her, I let her know what was going on, and then I called my dad. I've never seen my dad cry, never heard my dad cry, but when I called my dad, he started crying because the cop that came to tell him told him that I was killed. And the cop that actually told my mom also told my mom that I was killed. That was the hardest phone calls I've ever made. It's not easy to tell your parents that you let somebody get the best of you without being able to fight back. That was my biggest letdown, besides breaking my promise to my mom, was the fact that I wasn't able to get up and fight back. They got me. I was down, and I couldn't get back up.
And then I came home, and I was using the tube, and I was going through speech and fall therapy at Scripps Memorial Hospital. And then on November 27th, which was Thanksgiving Day, we were at my cousin's house, and I ate my first solid food on that day, and that was 2007. And so I had to keep the tube in for a little while longer, and the tube was removed in February of '08, and pretty much eating ever since then. I've had minor surgeries, of course, and other things, but the two major ones were having my jaw rebuilt and my tongue rebuilt. I've had close to 35 surgeries, if not more, but I stopped counting in September of '07 because it just got tedious, and who knows when those will end, so.
Did all that. Now I'm here at Wounded Warrior Battalion. I was put on limited duty. I'm facing medical retirement, which isn't much of retirement, but it's something. Wanting to go to school, but still having those problems. Everything just kind of, I'm also being diagnosed for post-traumatic stress because in OIF 2, during Fallujah, I was part of a machine gun squad, and actually in a rifleman squad where there was about 16 of us, and we got involved in a mortar attack where only 5 of us walked out.
This little hole, these were the trousers I was wearing under my flight suit when I got hit. So when it hit me, that's where the fucking round went in. Fucking hit me in my shin. So that's really the only thing I got with me to remember.
Kind of had some problems with some of the other stuff, some of my other friends that I had seen die in the last few years. Dreams and everything like that. So I've been treated for that, and I'm getting out about 4 to 9 months. And it's hard because I don't know where I'm going to go or what I'm going to do or how I'm even going to be able to function. But I'm relearning everything. I'm staying motivated. Still wearing the stripes on my collar, and I'm going for it. Just can't wait to succeed and wait for all my problems to die down and become a millionaire.
I guess that's it, man. Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
So other than that, I mean, that's my story in a nutshell. This is something else for me to talk about.
Pretty much it. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem, man. Anytime.